It's court time, baby. It's court time. Trial time. Good morning.
So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W. But not right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything. Please? Good morning.
She speaks.
Not bad. But I think you do better with a little smile, you know? You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know?
You need to sell yourself.
Trucy, let's take it easy for starters. Oh, look at that! She's a drawer. She carries a sketch pad and all. Wow. Thank you for taking my case.
Was that how I started using her voice? Oh, whatever.
Oh, I didn't realize she had a little bear lion thing on her overalls.
Okay. Well, that's a start, I guess.
Oh, it's always hidden by the sketch pad. No wonder I never noticed it. Oh, it's so cute.
There she goes with the nail polish again.
That's great, really. It's so cultured.
Look at that little thing. Is it a lion? Bear lion? Kind of looks like a bear, but kind of looks like a lion. It's a very cute thing, whatever it is.
Want to?
Ooh, no, say it. Let me try it again.
Want to try? Oh, really?
Girls. Is she gonna paint it on your gloves, Trucy? The victim, Drew Misham, was a forger. And a stolen painting was found in his studio. I do like that they just left the paint on his face and the hair. Do you think when faces are dirty, like dead bodies are dirtied or whatever, they don't like clean up their, they don't clean their bodies up? They don't wipe down their face before taking pictures of them? A life of crime, really. And maybe one that led to his death. Well, we will now begin the trial of Vera Misham.
Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy, and he's looking around all nervous like.
He's a little shy. The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and may indeed alter our legal system forever. Today is a test of the justice system. Oh right, yeah, that was the thing. And the first step towards a new order in our courts.
Daddy's secret mission.
The just will function like a jury. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will. Why aren't there any jurors in the courtroom? 3 closed-circuit cameras watch the courtroom at all times. The jurors have access to everything that transpires. Joist, Judge Well, and Judge Cool. Now see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was going to say that. Ah, my apologies, El Judge. Joist, today, judge today's trial coolly, if you would be so kind. How polite. The jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. And we're about to find out just what effect they're gonna have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. The details of the case, if you would. The victim is the painter, Drew Misham. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned. By whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant, Vera Misham. There wasn't any poison in the coffee! Ugh, don't. Someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself. The mug? Ah, residue was found on the rim, I see. The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death. The court accepts this as evidence. There's the autopsy report. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning, a chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. A touch of atroquinine in the body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. You may present your witness. I have for you today a simple man for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. That journalist, no doubt. The witness will state his name and occupation. I think I'm gonna try doing his voice during his testimony without plugging my nose to see when the time comes that I edit it to see if it does make a difference. It's fine. No one's gonna care. I'll try my best. Sniff, sniff. Oh, right. Wait, how did I do his voice before? All right. All right. Something like that, maybe. Well, for starters, my name is Mark Brushel. My job is a lone observer of the world. In other words, a freelance journalist, right? They're basically the same person. Yeah, if you don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record. Maybe I should do it like that? Yes, Mr. Brushel? I dislike conclusions, specifically, the jumping to aspects of conclusions. Preconception makes Park sandbox of endless desert waste, end quote. But you are a journalist. You said so yourself yesterday. Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. A scoop turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel, end quote. Is that doing him justice? I don't even know. Let's hear your testimony then, shall we? A simple case, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. Was that supposed to be a pun or something? A joke? Whatever. I visited the studio around 9 o'clock that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier, whatever, journalistic history made, end quote. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him. What are you saying, Judge? Need I remind you, the cameras are rolling today. I felt the need to be a bit dramatic. You didn't do it, did you? Me do a thing like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. I know, wild accusations rock courtroom, end quote. Oh my god, stop end quoting. Ha ha ha, rock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. I'm so happy for him. Very well, Mr. Justice. Your cross-examination, please. I visited the studio around 9 that night to do the interview. 9 o'clock that night? Isn't that a little late for an interview? If the great painter Drew Mission says, come at 9. I believe you and me, I go at 9. The first, and as it turned out, the last interview of such a prolific painter. Oh god, why am I doing it like that? Right, can you tell us what it was like when you arrived? First outsider to enter the atelier, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce words. So much characters in this game use fancy words that I'm not familiar with. You were the first reporter ever in Drew's studio? Posterity will look back on that night as a turning point in journalistic history. A basically insignificant step for all mankind. But a giant step for that Brushel guy, end quote. If no one on the outside ever had access to the studio, then it would serve to reason that the deed was done by an insider. By which he means Vera did it. So, how did this making interview go? His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. Would you mind being a little bit more specific? Oh wee, let me tell you, I enjoy a cuppa. In fact, it all began when I was in 3rd grade. No wait, 4th grade.
That's not what I meant.
I believe I know what our forehead is driving at. This coffee the victim was served. Did anyone other than the defendant touch it?
Right, that.
That's what I was going to say, really. Well now, if you got a question to ask, you'd best straight up ask it. That's what I tell all the new recruits, several times if necessary. Right for a grade schooler. That's my motto. Which isn't easy to say, I can only vote. What? Oh shit. Who touched the coffee? No. I was in the back looking at the studio's equipment when she served it. And what happened next? You know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. What's this about a star falling?
Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money, over.
Zowie, you don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls. Get it?
But there's no gravity in space, is there? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really.
What about shooting stars? Don't shooting stars like do like a falling action? Or do they not? I can only imagine the ones from Animal Crossing, which do look like they're falling. Does this matter?
Oh boy, this is good stuff, good stuff.
How about star breaks? Nah, lacks punch.
I know, star dies.
Nah, lacks imagination. Of course, you could go with Drew dies. Straight to the point. I like it. I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. I'm assuming that we can listen to all of these if I just click on it again. I don't remember which of those ones I have to. I imagine that this case I'm gonna remember a little bit less than like the previous cases because this is the last case and this one is really long. So we'll see how I fare. About when Mr. Misham passed away? Oh boy, what a scene that was. He put his coffee mug down with a crash, right? Yes, and then? Not the cold fingers of death touches his spine. Life's flames sputters and fails. So cold was that touch, he could do naught but tremble uncontrollably. Actually, life's flame is a little tired. Life's river froze over. Yes, that's a go.
I think he's starting his article already.
Could you describe that a little more simply? Well, as you can imagine, I was pretty surprised. He hit the floor, as they say. Artist seizure in final performance. End quote. Atroconine paralyzes the central nervous system. The body arcs back like a bow, the limbs tremble, and the throat burns. That's quite enough of that! Some of us want to be able to sleep tonight. Oh yeah? Well, I want details. Lots of juicy details. For that, you can listen to our last year's hit single, Atroconine, My Love, by the Ligavnias. Available at all major music outlets, which I don't really think exists anymore in the real world. Remember Sam Goody? Remember Suncoast? Remember FYE? Does that still exist, FYE? The point here is that the victim died of atroconine poisoning. Well, Mr. Justice, how did you find that testimony? That's not what I was looking for. You'd think the moment of Mr. Misham would be important. But Mr. Brushell's story really didn't tell us anything we didn't already know. Very well, please continue with the testimony. I'm going to press that again. I'm gonna ask about the Star's coffee then. Oh my god! Okay. I'm gonna go here. You say Mr. Misham had the coffee too. But did you actually see him drink the coffee? Of course! He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quote. I live in a man-see-dog-eat-dog and writes about it world. What? Yet? I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lips on mugs, drinks, end quote. That poison is quite virulent, whatever I hear. My stomach did a so-called somersault, since I gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glass in it. Wait, maybe something's there, some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess, for the record? Does this guy have a pause button? Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable? Yes. I think. The victim drank this coffee, then immediately fell over? Yeah, before they say it, I want to... Autopsy report indicates death by atropine poisoning, estimated time of 9 to 9:30. Oh, doesn't say anything more than that. Where's the thing where they say... Traces of slow-acting deadly poison of troponine. So the idea is that if he drank the coffee and immediately fell over, then that means that he must have ingested the poison well before he drank the coffee because it's slow-acting. I think they say it takes like 15... I think Emma said it takes like 15 minutes for it to hit you or something, if I remember correctly. We'll see. Oh yes, you can go to press with that one. Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. I'm like ready to change Apollo's voice. His voice has been like this entire time. Just kidding. I would never do that. Can you imagine if I just suddenly change it? Please add it to the testimony. Very well. The witness will add this to this testimony. Vital, right? He had one sip, if that. The next moment, he was on the floor. So, what do I present? Do I present the bag? Okay, got it. You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used, atropine. Imagine if I went through one whole episode without questioning that I just changed his voice. Oh, Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. A lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile. Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. Just cracks myself up. You might not laugh at it, but I'm laughing at it. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information. And no more sure? Atropine is as virulent as he says. But death doesn't come upon ingestion. What? Shit, I fucked up. But that doesn't come upon ingestion, not immediately. That's because atropine is slow acting. Alright, that's enough. But I'm gonna forget his voice. Oh shit, they both said things that I didn't fucking catch! According to one forensic scientist, it's one of the most virulent poisons, but it's absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. If we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham sipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would have still had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe. Order! What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why, that contradicts the entire testimony we just heard. Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on the record? Slow acting. SOL. It was virulent, alright. Even then, it already began digging his claws into the journalist. He's working on his scoop. It's Brushel, yeah. El Brushel. Let's take a trip back down memory lane. Huh? Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it over. This is vital. You know what I think? I think that was a not so subliminal suggestion. End quote. I admit, it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I would be forced to say off Widershin, okay, Widershin to my simple case. And you would be forced to say farewell to your article. Come again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters would pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. Hey, scoop. Wait, just wait a second, just 1 second. We're waiting, out with it. That's so gross. He uses his toothbrush to brush his glasses, his tongue, and his head. I think I just recalled a so-called important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story survival, end quote. Attorney utterly confused, end quote. Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I heard a poison that takes its sweet time, see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently. Mr. Brushel, are you saying you noticed something that explains what happened? You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction, end quote, you might say. Or, I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, I might say. I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee. What? Order! 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 As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony that Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank it. Of course I'm standing by my testimony! And my dream of exclusive rights to the story! Ugh, I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case, not him. Him? Phoenix right, who else? Achtung, Herr Bruschel, report for us if you would. What is it that you noticed? If it was that simple, it would be boring. Come on, Clavier, we're having fun here. This court is a critical trial of the George system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you noticed.